Hey everyone, welcome back to my corner of the internet. Today I thought we would dive into something I see on the internet all the time. Millennials versus Gen Z. Now, as a millennial myself, I thought I would give you my take on this. Now, I want to make it very clear from the beginning, I am Switzerland. I have no ill will against Gen Z. I actually think a lot of this situation is funny. The beef between the two generations, I think it's a little silly. But let's dive into it and see what it really says about both generations. Let's go. You've probably seen the TikToks or the memes, Gen Z joking about millennials, being obsessed with Harry Potter, avocado toast, and saying adulting is hard.
I don't want to be an adult anymore. It's very hard.
Meanwhile, millennials clap back about Gen Z not knowing life before smartphones or making fun of their slang. Now, are these real arguments? Not really. It's more like playful roasting. But the internet loves drama. So it gets amplified and turned into a generational battle.
So you're going to call out millennials, and we're going to pull up. You hear me? We're going to pull up. If most of us can get out of the house, we all have some form of anxiety, depression, or on a medication for mental health, honey.
So a quick refresher. Who are the millennials? Millennials are usually defined as people born between 1981 and 1996. 1991 here. We're the generation that grew up with dial-up internet, witnessed the rise of social media, and went through a pretty rough economy in our early adulthood. That shaped a lot of our outlook, things like hustle culture, valuing experiences over stuff, and yes, a very weird love for nostalgia. Gen Z are born from around 1997 to 2012, are digital natives. They don't remember a time without high-speed internet, smartphones, or streaming. They're also growing up in a world that's very online, very connected, but also dealing with climate anxiety, political polarization, and constant information overload. Gen Z tend to value authenticity, inclusivity, and humor that's honestly sometimes way too fast for me to catch on to. A lot of this so-called feud started on TikTok, where Gen Z creators began poking fun at millennial habits. Things like side parts instead of middle parts, skinny jeans versus baggy jeans, using the crying, laughing emoji instead of the skull emoji. And millennials responded with things like, at least we knew life before social media. You'll understand once you hit your 30s. Or just making fun of Gen Z slang. It's basically a big cultural roast session, but because it's online, a lot of times it can come off as a lot more hostile than it really is.
Told you ugly. Show me the Disney ears. Show them to me. What twink on Grindr asked you for your AARP card? Come on, let me know. Pour one out, y'all. Pour one out for every millennial going through a crisis.
So generational clashes really aren't a new thing. Boomers thought Gen X was lazy, Gen X thought millennials were entitled, now Gen Z thinks millennials are cringy. It's just a cycle. The real reason these differences stand out is that each generation's culture is shaped by technology, media, and events. What feels cool to one group feels outdated to the next. That's just how culture works. The internet just puts it all on blast.
Gen Z doesn't know how to write a check.
Oh, really? What's this then?
Now, I'm going to be honest here. As a millennial, I can see why Gen Z makes fun of us. We do romanticize the 90s and early 2000s a lot. And yes, some of us still use phrases like adulting a little too much. But I also respect that Gen Z is bold about being themselves, challenging old norms, and having humor that is very, let's call it creative. On the flip side, millennials deserve credit too. We pioneered internet culture and we turned memes into a thing, and we built platforms that Gen Z thrives on. Plus, we're usually the ones bridging the gap between older generations and the younger one.
Y'all teach Gen Z, and Gen Z truly shows the evolution of generations because baby boomers were like, I would die for my country. And millennials were like, I would die for my dog. And Gen Z's like, I would die.
The only time this feud gets really toxic is when people take things too seriously instead of fun roasting. It turns into blaming, millennials saying that Gen Z is too sensitive, or Gen Z saying millennials are washed up. When it becomes too personal, it stops being funny. And at the end of the day, most of us want the same thing: stability, connection, and a future that just doesn't suck.
Like, laugh at my expense. Don't want to be mean to her. Baby girl, baby girl. Oh, Jesus. Like, you're pretty, you're beautiful. I'm not trying to like tear you down or anything, because looking older than your age isn't a bad thing and shouldn't be stigmatized by society. But when you're like laughing at my expense about the way I look.
So from my neutral millennial perspective, this feud is mostly just memes, and that's okay. Generational humor is part of the internet's DNA. But instead of arguing, I think it's a lot more fun when generations learn from each other. Millennials can borrow some of Gen Z's fearless authenticity, and Gen Z can take some of our nostalgic optimism. At the end of the day, whether you're rocking a side part or a middle part, you're rocking baggy jeans or skinny jeans, we're all just trying to figure things out.
Hey guys, I just shit my pants.
Oh my god, guys, you're not gonna believe this. I just shit my pants.
Alright, that's my take as a millennial that's Switzerland. In this situation, in the Gen Z versus millennial feud. What about you? Do you think the roast wars are funny, or do you think people are just going a little bit too far in this situation? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications on any future videos. I hope something good happens to you today, and thank you for watching my video. Bye-bye!